Hi, my name's Nick Tann and welcome to my Fresh Music Fix. Artists from around the world send me their music. I choose the songs I like the best and put them in a podcast to share with you. This is episode 12 and I'm playing tunes from 2 Days Sober, Bobbie, Peru and the Clang group. But I'm going to start with Black Surf, Lights Out, and you are going to love it. We're there. Hello, how are you? Well, what a fantastic piece of music. I just sat back and listened to that and let it just all wash over me with my gorgeous headphones on, and it sounded amazing. There's sort of like elements of Ramones and all kinds of wonderful stuff like that. Now, there's not an awful lot I can tell you about Black Surf. Oh, hello, by the way. I'm on my own tonight, which is kind of like quite fitting with what I want to talk about. But let me talk about Black Surf a little bit longer. I can't find an awful lot about him. I think it's just one person. I'm not sure. I get he sent me that piece of music, and I think I had to download it. I hate downloading stuff because what happens is I get so much music, and I make podcasts so far in advance. But the time I get to make the podcast, I'm like, where did I get this bit of music from? And if I don't have sort of notes and stuff as to where it came from, I kind of forget. And then sometimes, and in this case, I go searching on the web for it, and there's nothing about it. So I don't know whereabouts in the world he is. I don't even know what country he comes from. I know I absolutely love that song. There's a few things I'd like to change. The first thing is the intro's a bit, I don't know what happened there, but that's kind of okay. The breakdowns were all right, but a little bit too long. They could have been a little bit shorter. And the end, I'd have done a and then cut it, not done a fade. I'd done a bump, a short ending. So that I'd have edited the whole thing, made it a little bit shorter, made it a bit snappier. Because all the major bits were fantastic, but there's two breakdowns. The bit with the bass in the middle is lovely, but it's too long. It's too long for this song, I think. But it's just a beautiful piece of music, and the vocals are just lovely. Except, a little moan. I think they were too low in the mix. If you could have brought those vocals up higher in the mix and made it all about the vocals, I'd have been like, whoa, this is fantastic. Anyway, have a listen to this. This is 2 Days Sober, and Should I Let It Go? And then I'm going to talk a little bit about podcasting and what the hell am I doing here. You love this.
29, and I gotta say I'm feeling low. All this time, and my dreams stay buried deep below. I can't hide from the fact that I got nothing to show. Do you think I tried? Can you tell me, 'cause I need to know. Should've let it go. Should've let it go. Should've let it go. Should've let it go. 'Cause I'll be fine. Everybody seems to be so sure. What if it's a sign that I spend my time so insecure? And I can't decide who I am or what I think I'm made for. And I'm scared I'll find that one day I cannot take no more. Should I let it go? 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 And these days, they spend my mind and reset. These days, they went, and I'm lost. What it meant, should I let it go? Should I let it go? Should I let it go?
Fantastic. It's a gorgeous track. I particularly like the chops in the chorus. Like, it reminded me of the sort of thing that Andy Davey would do when we were both touring with Coast a few billion years ago. Yeah, I love it. When I heard it, I was like, ding, 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 and it was just lovely. I love that song. The build's beautiful from the acoustic guitar bit. Fantastic. Now, I've got a little moan. Now, these guys, I can't tell you where they're from. Where can I tell you? Oh, they're from London and Bristol. It's a duo. They're a duo. A DIY alt-rock duo from Bristol. That's Luke and Jono. And they've launched a 24-month, one song a month release plan until they eventually run out of money and move back in with their mums. This is the second single. And it's out now. I don't know what that means. So let me tell you. I told you the things that I really love about it. I love the voice, the guy's voice. I'm assuming it's Luke. I don't know. Could be Luke. Could be Jono. Who knows? The great guitar. It's the track is brilliant. It's nice and poppy. It keeps your attention once you're there, and you're like, and that it. In the verses, it's really nice. It takes you down a little bit, but not too far down. And then the chorus is really, 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 really nice. I think it could have rinsed the chorus a bit more. So the only thing I would moan about it is the admin. 2 Days Sober. It's a dreadful. It sounds like a lovely name, but if you want to find out about the band, where would you go to find out about a band? About anything? You go to Google. You go to Google, first page. If you put in 2 Days Sober music, Should I Let It Go? Don't get the band. Find nothing out about it. Start telling me about what happens to your body after being 2 days sober, and all that kind of stuff, which is okay, but it's not what I want with the band. And they didn't. As far as I don't know if they've got a website or anything. All I've got is an email account to send it to. So that's my only moan, really. Like my only moan with it all. So other than that, it's bloody fantastic, and you should go and listen to it. Catch hold of get the show notes. I'll see if I can find something out for the show notes. The show notes, by the way, someone pointed out to me the other week. You don't tell people what the show notes are. The show notes get written up on email. Get written out on the website, which is Nick Tann's freshmusicfix.com. So whatever you're listening to at the moment, whatever you're listening to it on, there are some show notes that go with it. So if you're listening on Spotify, there's notes that go with the podcast. So you just look at those and you'll see where it is. Okay, the notes will come up, but I will put up there what the website is, which is Nick Tann's freshmusicfix.com. So all the notes get written up there every time we put a podcast out. So yeah, go there for that. So one of the things I said I was going to do this week was to tell you how I got here and what am I doing here. So the short story is in 2008, I thought I came down. I'd been down in Southampton from London for a couple of years, and I was just amazed about what fantastic music was around that I was listening to. I was going to open mics and catching other people and playing gigs myself, just doing solo singer-songwriter stuff. And I just wanted to share with everybody. Like, I thought, this fantastic music down here. No one's listening to it. Why isn't anybody listening to it? Because I think it's really good. I think I've got pretty good taste in music, you know. So I want to share it. A little bit like if you listen to a new song, or you find a new album or a new artist, you kind of want to share it with someone. You want to go, oh, have you heard so and so? Oh, listen to them. Like at the moment, I'm all about Oscar Jerome. Oscar Jerome's got a new album out called The Fork, which you might not like it. You might not share the same music taste as me. I can't play it because he's got a deal, etc. and everything. So I can't. There's certain things that I can't play on the podcast, and unfortunately, as much as I'd love to, I'd love to play Oscar Jerome. And so if I share Oscar Jerome with you, and you listen to Oscar Jerome and go, God, that album, The Fork, is fantastic. That's brilliant. I mean, I've got it on vinyl. It cost me bloody fortune. 30 quid it cost me. 30 quid. But it sounds dreamy. What else? What better way to spend 30 quid on? So anyway, I digress, which I do a lot if you listened to me before. So I thought, yeah, this podcast business, I might get into that. And I started making this podcast called Is This Thing On Podcast. Now, at the time, Is This Thing On referred to a phrase that people would say is if they were doing some open mic or anything with a microphone, they'd knock the microphone and go, is this thing on? And that was the joke. So the podcast was called Is This Thing On? And at the time, 2008, there was no other podcast called Is This Thing On? In 2008, there weren't many podcasts at all. But there weren't any called Is This Thing On? Go now, there's loads of them. There's dozens of podcasts called Is This Thing On? Don't know why. So I started doing that podcast, and I started it in 2008, and I finished doing it in 2024. Yes, that's right, last year. So last year, I decided with Chris, my friend and co-host, that we really needed to put some more effort into doing the podcast. So what I thought I'd do is I'd put a post up in Reddit, one of my favourite websites, to say, why aren't more people listening to my podcast? And I got a few people listening to it, and they said, it's all right, but the title doesn't have anything to do with what you're doing. It doesn't have anything to do with the podcast. Well, it kind of did in 2008. Is this thing on? People going to open mics, etc. But that meaning has now disappeared. So I thought, well, I'll come up with a new name for the podcast, and I came up with Nick Tann's Fresh Music Fix. I think it's a pretty good idea. To see if I can get more people listening to the podcast. Now, this podcast, I don't get paid for this. Well, apart from Patreon, which I'll tell you about in a second. I don't really make any money out of it. I don't make any profit out of it, that's for sure. And I just do it just so people can discover music and go, oh yeah, I heard that on Nick Tann's Fresh Music Fix. And I know there's some people that have followed bands, have gone to gigs, have bought merch, etc., from bands that have been played on the podcast. And that's fantastic. Brilliant. So that's why I'm here. Now, all those episodes of Is This Thing On podcast are still out there. That's the thing with podcasts. They stay. People that make podcasts are very precious about their episodes, and they keep them online forever. So even you can find from episode 10, you can find it all online still, and you can find it on the website. The website for Is This Thing On is isthisthingOnpodcast.com. So if you want to go there, you can see all the podcasts there. You can still find them on Spotify. So I still pay money to have the podcast kind of like it's a bit like a museum now, but it's there. You can go to Spotify and all the other places that you find podcasts, and put in Is This Thing On podcast, and you'll find it, as well as isthisthingOnpodcast.com. That goes back forever, and I've played thousands of tracks, and there were over 400 episodes of the podcast, and there's lots of comedy bits in it, there's interviews, and there's all kinds of things. And I would not like it if people never looked at it again, because there's some really good music on there as well. I mean, I suppose that is the day now. Back in the day, there was what they call Something in the Bottle Men. What's that band called? Oh God, getting old now. Catfish in the Bottle Men. I know you were screaming it. I played Catfish in the Bottle Men when they were just buzzing around, not doing anything, just sort of like trying to get gigs and doing the same thing that the bands that I'm playing now. Anyway, that is why it's I started this podcast to try and get more people listening to it, and that's my desire. My desire is to get it played on, get episodes listened to, get bands played, and get this music that no one's ever heard of listened to. So I'll tell you a little bit more about some other stuff. A bit more interesting later on, but I need to play some music. So one of my favourite band names ever is Bobbie Peru, and that's what I'm going to play now. Bobbie Peru and Possible Ops. gorgeous. That's gorgeous. What a fantastic ending. I do love it. Those who know me, know I love a straight stopping ending like that. Fantastic. That's Bobbie Peru, unbelievably from Manchester. It's got that real Manchester sound, hasn't it? Fantastic. I love the breakdown at the end, and I was thinking it's a bit weird, that sort of bit coming. Why doesn't it stay with that vibe that it's got there? But it's not. It's lovely. Love the bass playing. I love a bass player who knows what a minor third is, and I'm not being nerdy about that. You know what I mean? Hang on, I've got his name here. Simon Ding Archer. You know what a minor third is. So we've got Mike Baker on drums and backing vocals, Simon Ding Archer on bass, keys and backing vocals, and Bert Genovese on guitar, harmonica and vocals. Did he play harmonica on that? I'm not too sure. That's taken from their album called Corkscrew. That was recorded in Salford. In Salford. So fantastic. I'll put more in the show notes. I think they might have a website, so I'll put some stuff in that. So show notes, always worth having a little read while you're listening along to the show. The other thing I was going to say is I've actually got into a TikTok recently, so there's some TikTok things going on, and any bands that follow me on TikTok, I follow them, and I always like their videos. I'm a big fan of TikTok. It gets a bit of a bad rep from people who don't really use it, or have used it for about 5 minutes and have gone, oh no, it's all full of rubbish videos. No, it's only full of rubbish videos because you've watched rubbish videos, and it goes, oh, this person likes rubbish videos. Once the algorithm gets to know what you like, and it starts to give you things that you actually like. I've made a playlist on Spotify of all the artists that I've played on this podcast that have got Spotify tracks. And I've also got a playlist for people that are on Tidal. And if you don't know about Tidal's another streaming service that plays a better quality. Like when I say better quality, as a WAV as opposed to an MP3. So it's the quality, the audio quality is much better. And apparently they give a much better amount of money to the artists that they play. And I'll put those links up. They're getting a bit tricky for me to put up at the moment, but I will try and get them up. The link up to tomorrow, today, when you're listening to it, like Monday or Tuesday. So if it's not there when you look at it, have a little look, give it a couple of days, and I'll put the link up to each individual, the Tidal and the Spotify playlist. And also, I think what was I saying? There's so many things in my brain. You'll have to forgive me. It's always like this. It is always like this, and generally Chris is here to sort of help me, to guide me in the right direction, because I'm thinking about 30 different things. So yes, the what was I saying? Oh Jesus, TikTok. That's what I'm saying. TikTok. So TikTok, it's Nick Tann Talk is my TikTok handle, but of course it would be. Also, just find me anywhere. If you just Google Nick Tann's Fresh Music Fix, you'll find bits and pieces. I need to cough. I also need to tell you about this next track by a band called the Clang Group. It's fantastic. You heard it at the head of the show. Listen to it. It's fantastic. It's called Bulldozer.
Stop
Very nice. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about the Clang group in just a moment. Excuse me. But there's one thing I must explain to you if you're listening to the podcast for the first time. And if you are, where the hell have you been? I've been here since 2008, for crying out loud. When I choose the songs for the podcast, I don't read any of the blurb that's sent to me. I just literally I download the tracks. I go into a folder and I listen to them. And if I like them and I want them to go in the podcast, they go in the podcast folder. And then I put them in the podcast. And then as the song is playing, I look at what the blurb is and what I can tell you about the band. So that's why that's there. So it's always just about the music. Don't care who you are, what you've done, who you want to be, what you've been with, who you've slept with, who you want to sleep with. It doesn't matter to me until I play the music. Once I play the music, or playing the music, then I'm interested. So this is the Clang group. This is Bulldozer. And the Clang group is fronted by a legendary hitmaker, Clive Langer, whose credits include, these are studio credits working with David Bowie, Absolute Beginners, Dexys Midnight Runners, Come On Eileen. See, I loved Dexys Midnight Runners up until Come On Eileen, because I was I was searching for the Young Soul Rebels with that first album, Wait Until My Light Turns Green, one of the best albums of all time. And then he came out and said, Come On Eileen. I was like, I was devastated. Madness, House of Fun, Morrissey, Elvis Costello, these are all my Robert Wyatt, Elvis Costello is one of my heroes, you know. So that's where we are. That's where we are with Robert Langer. Hang on a minute. Clive Langer, not Robert Langer. I'm getting confused. That's why I stopped in my steps there. Just a beautiful track for me. I thought it sounded a bit like Robin Trower, actually. If he'd said Robin Trower, I'd be but he hadn't worked with Robin Trower, but he probably has. And so that's fantastic. So I'll give you some details about where you can find out about them in the show notes. I've loved doing tonight's show. I hope you've enjoyed listening to me. Yes, when it's just me, I ramble and I forget things and I cough. But that's just sort of, it's just the way it is. The way it used to be, and possibly the way it could be in the future when I do stuff on my own. I don't think there's going to be many things I'm doing on my own for a while, because everyone was going to be coming back. We've been very busy. I've been very busy. I've been ill with this cold for 3.5 weeks. I can't shift it. I had loads of podcasts in the bag, fortunately, so I could just that I'd recorded in advance. This one tonight. This is Sunday night. This is me doing the podcast. Sunday night. It's 10 o'clock. It's just about finished now, and I'll be a while, and it'll come out tomorrow morning. I love you all. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe if you do. If you subscribe, you get an email, special email, with all the show notes, etc. on it, and it just gives me some idea of how many of you lovely people are listening. Anyway, I've said enough. I hope you've listened enough. I love you all. Goodbye.